Hey guys, this is James Caldwell, and I am here again with another part of my series. I'm just saying, thank you so much for clicking on the video. I appreciate you and love talking to you. Tonight, we're going to talk about Married to Medicine. It's season two, episode three is what we're going to focus on this evening. We started right off with one of my favorite couples, which is Quad and her husband, Dr. Gregory. I've said it before, I really like these two. I think they're so cute together. I love their camaraderie with one another. But this evening, Greg, Gregory, he rubbed me wrong. He rubbed me wrong because I'm crazy about Miss Quad, honey. Um, Claude was actually, she was sitting in the bed and she was going on about something that had actually happened between herself and Mariah. And they weren't going real deep right away with it, but you could tell that it was something intense because she was expressing herself and she was very vocal and she was very hyped up, which, sometimes Claude can be. And he cut her off and he kind of was dismissive with her. And it just kind of pissed me off because the more she talked, the more dismissive it kind of got. And he's like, you're yelling and this, that, and the other. Let me tell you something. A woman is made up of layers, tons of layers. And you know that. Every man knows that. Whatever woman you get your hands on, she is made up of a bunch of layers. And I don't believe at any point that you should dismiss her layers. If she needs to vent and her rant is a little loud. What is the problem? Especially if it's not focused at you. You are not arguing, but she's expressing herself. So now she's a little loud because of what happened. What the fuck is the big deal? Let her rant. Let her work on whatever layer she's working on. You let her work on that. I didn't like that, Gregory. So just for the record, leave her alone. Let her rant at whatever layer of that womanhood that she's ranting on and leave her alone. Don't dismiss her. I didn't like that at all. It just kind of bothered me. It just went up underneath my skin. Hey, I'm just saying. We know, Quad, she gets loud. Let her be loud. So, because that just added more fuel to the fire. Because this she had gotten a little pissed with him, and I was right along with her. I was getting pissed with him too. So, but anyway, so she had went on, and there was this whole little situation where she said, that uh, Mariah had told her, fuck you, bitch, I made you and I made you relevant and all this. And she told her, bitch, fuck you, all's fair in love and fuck you, right? So he was going on and he was saying, he doesn't think that that's right when women are out acting that way and this, that thing and the other. Um, and that kind of thing. But now let me step back for a minute now, because as far as the dismissive thing, they both need to work on that too. Because when he talks about babies all the time, Quad does dismiss them. So yeah, that's probably something that they need to work on together. But I don't like the dismissiveness period in a relationship. But yeah, he just made me mad. You made me mad, Gregory. Just rubbed me wrong at that moment. But anyway, so that was that. So they kind of went into that a little bit and then they kind of left it alone. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I need to get to the bottom of this story about what the hell is going on with Mariah and Quad, because they were so close that it just seems strange. But that happens. I've had, situations where people think that I'm so close with a person and they're really a bitch and gets on my nerves. And when I had enough, I had enough. So, but I just want to get to the bottom of it and figure out what the hell has really gone on. Um, Toya, who I can't stand, but we're going to give her this few little seconds out of this video. Toya has been told yet again, bitch, you need a job. Her husband he keeps on making little innuendos about her getting a job and getting back to work. So that means that, bitch, you're spending too much money and you're acting like we have more money than what we have. That's what I'm getting out of it. And you need to take your ass and go on back to work. Those children are of school age. That the baby boy is of age to take his ass to the local daycare or, bring somebody in. But it's time for you to get your raggedy ass on that and go get a paycheck and stop playing rich bitch because we're not. She even has sat down and was talking to her parents about her. And her parents told her, don't do this. Her father told her, don't do this. This will ruin your relationship. And if that man thinks you need to go back to work, it's time to take your raggedy ass back to work. And, they were being very nice about it, but I would see all in that man's face. He don't like her either, probably, and didn't want that bitch to come back home to his house with her raggedy ass. But anyway, she needs to stop playing rich because I don't think that they actually have it going on like some of the other people. And she's playing rich. And you can see it all in that birthday party. She had this birthday party for the youngest baby boy. You could tell right away with the baby's reaction. That baby is not used to being around crowds of people. He didn't know those kids. A lot of that shit was done for looks. It was done for the camera. And shit looked like it was all overpriced. The party itself didn't blow my hair back. I'm not rich. I don't live in an area where a lot of folks are rich. There are rich people around, but nothing that's that I couldn't handle. It's. And I looked at that party, honey. We have those blow up things and all that, but I'm sure everything was priced on a large grand scale. So it was just ridiculous. You're throwing money away. You're throwing money away for a kid that's not even used to being around kids, and you can tell that because of the child's behavior. Like they always say, out of the mouth of babes, honey. A child, you want to know something? Ask a kid, baby. He was crying. He didn't want nobody touching him. He didn't want to share and that kind of thing. Children that are used to being around large crowds and other children, they already know that they have to share. They already, even if they're not really good sharing kids, they know better than that. He didn't want her to put him down. It was all for the cameras. Toya, bitch, get out of here. She's ridiculous. I can't stand her, really, and nothing really too much about her. She's fucking ridiculous. And you better go get you a job, bitch, before you be back over your dad and your mom's house. Moving on. Moving on. Mariah. Mariah was out with Dr. Simone. And they were having a little dinner, a little cocktail, and they were talking about the situation with her and Quad and what had transpired. And as she said, somebody gives you the shortened version of a story. She literally gave her the short version of the story. Mariah was talking about what had happened, and had we never heard what Quad had said, you would be just as clueless because she just told you basically what she wanted to tell you, which made her look good, but you weren't getting the depth of the story, and that's what Dr. Simone was saying. She's like, this girl ain't telling me the whole story. Now, let me tell you what I saw, okay? And I'm just saying, I could be wrong, and I actually hope I am wrong. But when I looked at Mariah and how she was talking with Dr. Simone, she's like, she treated me like a doll. And she took my purse and she threw it. I looked at her and I said, Miss Mariah, you look a little drunk, honey. Is there some little alcoholism problems going on? Is that what the shift is all about? Is there, some alcoholism? And then I had to go back and I looked at her in that bed because in the beginning of the episode, she was sick. She didn't go to the party. She was in the bed and she was sick, and the kids had went in the kitchen with her husband Aiden. I love her husband. I really like Dr. Aiden. I think it's just the cutest little thing, and the kids are just cute, and I just like them. But they were in there fucking the kitchen up, baby. He done cut his finger, and the kids was cooking the soup and shit. It was a mess. But they made their mom something to eat, and they took it to the bedroom. Now, when they got to the bedroom, I didn't get sick. I got sleepy and hungover, is what it looked like to me. And Aiden's a doctor, so truly, I think he was trying to pump something into her because I think she had like a grilled cheese sandwich. Who gives a grilled cheese sandwich to a person that's sick? You don't. You would give them soup, but you wouldn't give a motherfucker that's sick a grilled cheese sandwich. But somebody hungover, that you want something on their stomach with some grease, cheese, butter, and bread. Yeah. So I'm wondering, is Miss Mariah dealing with some alcoholism? Um, because when I looked on that screen, all I saw was, sadly enough, her mother. Because her mother just reminds me of an old, bitter, and that's what I saw when I was our chef. Through my nerves. I said, girl, you right about time to start staggering. So that's kind of what I saw. I'm really interested to see, pardon me, going forward, what has really transpired, what is the real deal, because there's something going on. There's a real deal somewhere in there for them, their friendship to break up like that, and her to be acting this way, and then her cheeks are puffy just like her mom. Her mom has that drunk, you know, that old drunked up look, and I'm starting to see that in Mariah. I don't like it, but that's what I'm starting to see. um anyway, then we go on. Dr. You know what, all I have to say about Dr. Heavenly is that bitch is cuckoo cuckoo. You understand me? Cuckoo cuckoo. Now, Dr. Jackie wanted to get back together with her and try to clear the air about her and Simone, her and the woman, the Miss whatever she is, the heavyset pageant queen. Who was actually, she is a pretty girl. They brought her in to the office. Jackie invited her into the office as well as boxhead ass Heavenly. So they came into the office and everything. Um, and as they sat down, Jackie went right in, you know, Dr. Sabone refused to go. She told her, if you're not putting Heavenly on medication, then I'm not showing up. Flawless. I love Dr. Sabone. So she apologized. Dr. Jackie apologized to the woman about what had happened. The woman took the apology like that, lickety split. It was done. She was good with it. And then she spilled the tea, basically, as she says to Heavenly, because Heavenly was like sitting there, all smug. She said, now what can you do with that? What can you do with that? How can you not love her? How can you not take the apology? Because this woman was drawn to Jackie. She's drawn to Jackie. What Jackie said was offensive, but that woman, she wasn't feeling all that bad about it. This is Heavenly's bullshit. And when Jackie stood up there and was a woman, and she apologized, that woman took that apology like that. And she was good with it, and she was ready to go on and move on and carry her reign of her pageant for the year and possibly make friends with Jackie if possible. Jackie seeing that, took it, and I'm sure we're going to see her again. I think it's Chevalier or something like that. Her name was. I didn't write it down. I'm sorry, guys, but it was like it's a strange name. I would not be surprised if we see this woman again, and her and Jackie are doing something, and Jackie will probably clear up some things about what she was saying, and that will be part of what her message is. I guarantee you, we're going to see her again, but that was squashed the way that women squash things. Jackie ended up, she seen that Heavenly was going to be Heavenly. So she had her to step out. She had the queen to step out. And she stood there, and then Heavenly, now she going to squash the situation with Heavenly. Jackie done apologized and everything to Heavenly. Heavenly wanted to argue. She wanted to fight. That's what she wanted to do. She just was looking for a fight. And Jackie's like talking to her. She's like, you're not going to win this, Dr. Jackie. And this, that, thing, that. And she just kept going on. And she kept over talking her. And at a point, Jackie just stopped. He just looked at her and just listened to her and let her talk and let her make the fool of herself that she really, really is. And Jackie had a look on her face that said, oh my God, Simone was right. I am looking the devil directly in the face, directly in the eye. That bitch is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You understand me? Just as crazy as she want to be with her square ass head. She's ridiculous. I can't stand her. And she just wanted to fight. And that was it. She keeps bringing up all that fat shit. And I'm like, Jackie, she better be glad that Jackie's who she is. Because I would let her know, but you're still fat. You're running off. Don't be mad about the weight that you lost, bitch. Be mad about the weight that you're still carrying, bitch. You're still box head, bitch. She's ridiculous. And she's just looking for a fight. She's ridiculous, that Dr. Heavenly. I can't stand her. And then there was one point when her daughter just read her. The little daughter, little cute little one. That daughter, she was doing something with the little girl on the floor, some little project, and the little girl was listening to her. She's steady going on and on and on. The little girl looked at Heavenly Baby and shut the place down. She said, do you like talking about yourself? Baby Heavenly looked at her and said, yes, I do. She said, I can tell. Now, when the baby's reading you, you know you need to check yourself. Last but not least, there's this new character. So we've gotten into the new character. We've seen a little bit of her last week. Um, Lisa Nicole. Not impressed. I'm not impressed with Miss Lisa Nicole. I thought last time I made a video, I said I don't think that I'm going to care for her very much. I'm not a fan of hers. Um, and I'll tell you why, what she did. Now she's coming, and I've said before, Dwight, Dwight can be messy, but I think she out messied Dwight. They were on their way to the party at Toya's. Dwight was telling Lisa Nicole about the situation with Mariah and Quad and how he had heard through grapevine that there was this fallout and they had this thing. And actually, yeah, and Mariah was actually hitting Quad. So that was another thing. I said Quad really does love Mariah because I know Quad's a goddamn thumper. So she's really trying to work with Mariah. Mariah's just crazy. Something, girl, stay out the sauce, honey. But anyway, so they got to the party. And they don't really know, Dwight didn't really know these people, Toya and all of them all like that. And God knows, they weren't there 5 minutes. And Lisa Nicole was running everything that Dwight had said. And you could see it in Dwight's face like, bitch, bitch, you're giving it all up. Like, you're giving up everything I said. Bitch, I didn't even get it all out my mouth, and you're giving it all up. You know what I mean? It was a mess. It was messy. It was a very messy scene. And I said, I knew I wasn't going to like her. She one of them bone carrying bitches. And she kept going on about her, her business and things like that. So when we were getting to learn about her, and I said, okay, so, what is this? So she is a doctor's wife, and they were talking about her and all the successful business. Now, where I will give the bitch this, because I listened very closely, and she's talking about her networking and all of this. She is a multi-level marketer, is what she is. And it's always bothered me that people, for some reason, they feel like they got to hide when they do multi-level marketing. There is nothing wrong with multi-level marketing because everybody cannot do it. Okay? Everybody can't do it. I'm one myself, and I don't have a problem telling anybody that I've done. I am a part of an MLM. I have no problem with that. I hold my head up, and I'm proud of it. I've been with my company going on 4 years. She is actually very high up in, and I've researched her, 5 links. She did 5 links. So, girl, stand on that. Because 5 links was a hard company. I was approached by them, and I didn't choose to do it, but she's really high up. And the thing about it, your net worth rather, is your net worth. So she has the right background to be able to be successful in the MLM. And that's what she did. She built an organization and all that, but it was 5 links. And she didn't say, I don't know if they don't allow her to say it or whatever, but it was 5 links. And now what I will say, for all those who do watch Atlanta Housewives, we kept talking about an opportunist. Todd. They kept talking about Todd being an opportunist. Lisa Nicole is an opportunist. This is what an opportunist looks like. I've noticed down in Atlanta, for some reason, that title of fashion designer gets thrown around a lot. But I haven't seen any actual fashion designers yet, except for Rico and Michael. That was it. Those are the only fashion designers I've actually seen. Now, what I've seen are people who are opportunists who have money and they throw their money toward creating a fashion line. But I think the title just gets thrown out there because how are you a fashion designer if you haven't designed any fashions? How are you a fashion designer if you haven't designed any fashions? How are you a fashion designer if you haven't designed any fashions? How are you a fashion designer if you haven't designed any fashions? How are you a fashion designer if you haven't designed any fashions? How are you a fashion designer if you haven't designed any fashions? How are you a fashion designer if you haven't designed any fashions? How are you a fashion designer if you haven't designed any fashions? How are you a fashion designer if you haven't designed any fashions? How are you a fashion designer if you haven't designed any fashions? How are you a fashion designer if you haven't designed any fashions? How are you a fashion designer if you haven't designed any fashions? How are you a fashion designer if you haven't designed any fashions? How are you a fashion designer if you haven't designed any fashions? How are you a fashion designer if you haven't designed any fashions? How are you a fashion designer if you haven't designed any fashions? How are you a fashion de Now, that's the nature of the business. That's one of the things that just irritates me about the business. But again, I am a fashion designer. Don't stand in my face and say you're a fashion designer, bitch, if you can't sew, you can't sketch, you've designed nothing. You've gotten somebody, you paid someone, and they came in and they took their sketches and all of that, and then you done took it through your name on it, and now it's your brand. But don't call yourself a fashion designer. Don't do that. I love Kimora Lee Simmons to death, but the bitch is not a fashion designer. She was a bitch with a dollar and a name. She has designers that work under her, but Kimora Lee ain't designed shit. And this is what I see from Lisa Nicole. Lisa Nicole, she put that shit on Jackie. What was so great about that dress? Those were like sample dresses. And not reading the designs, but I didn't see her say she sketched anything. I didn't see, not one time did I hear her say she sketched anything, sewed anything, planned on sewing anything. And all designers don't sew, so the sewing thing that's like an extra added bonus. But all designers sketch, and even if they don't, they can. Because how do you convey your idea if you're not sketching? Lisa Nicole was a bitch that had some money, and she threw it out an idea. And there are people who are working underneath her. The fashion designers actually work underneath her. She's nothing but the finance. So, in my opinion, that's an opportunist, okay? But anyway, like I said, I live for her hustle. I'll give you that. I live for her hustle. I don't live for your running your mouth or carrying bones. And I'll be watching you in the next following weeks, Miss Lisa Nicole. And like she wants to help. See, like she wants to help Quad. You're going to help Quad to help you. You're not doing it out of the kindness of your heart. You're going to use your money to make some more money. You're going to seize the opportunity because that's what opportunists do. And with that, we're going to wrap this one right on up. And I thank you guys for watching the video. Leave your comments. I love when you leave comments. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. If you don't like it, then you know how that goes. But I love seeing you guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again real soon. Take care of yourselves and have a great night. Bye, guys.